Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zero Fucks Given Podcast, episode 16. I am your host, Chris Zero, aka Connor Underwood, alongside Miguel Roderick and Zachary Holloway, aka Zach Zero. Zach, the past 24 hours have been a roller coaster for you in the Fed world. It all started yesterday with the GWF sale that would break out into a clusterfuck, end with Joey deciding he was not going to close down GWF. Then, URW is finally getting bought by DRW, but you would be the main squeeze because of that, because after the GWF sale, URW, Cole posted in URW what you said about URW, Donald stripped you of the title, you left URW, and now...
Before you stripped the title.
Yeah, okay, you left before he stripped it. Okay, you left, then he stripped the title, and now you are still the URW World Heavyweight Champion. And now at Final Face-Off, in a huge match is going down at Final Face-Off, you will be involved in one of the biggest matches in your career, URW and DRW history, because you will be going one-on-one with either Chris Zero or Judas Insanity, whoever wins at Aftermath. Your thoughts?
Here's the thing. I may have a URW World Heavyweight Championship around my waist, but at this moment in time, I'm representing anything but URW. I'm representing any Zach Zero and what he can do in the ring.
You will be clashing for the...
I'm excited.
You will be clashing for the Elite title when the title gets renamed. Defending it Aftermath May 24th in a fatal four-way ladder match against Eric Draven, Kid Crush, and Miguel Roderick. Your thoughts on the four-way ladder match?
I'll just do it like every night. I'll walk in, give it my all, and someone's walking out, the Ultra Championship, and it will be me.
Miguel, you have been waiting 3 months for a Ultra Violent Championship rematch. You are cashing in at Aftermath the same night you fight Key Morbid in a street fight for the Ultra Violent title. Or not, you don't fight her for the Ultra Violent title, but you're fighting her in a street fight. And the same night that Lex Sullivan and Drake Collins, if they make it past Ultimate Rampage with the tag team titles around their waist, they will be defending it versus the Kendo Stick Society. That is one of the biggest nights in your career. You thought Dark Mania was big, it only gets bigger. What are your thoughts on your push as of late?
Only he was still here.
Oh, Miguel left again? God damn it, Miguel. Okay, cancel that whole question. Zach, you and your brother is Aaron Youngblood. Aaron has a chance of a lifetime, and May 24th, he will be fighting Christian Rainey for the undisputed World Heavyweight title. And if he wins, he will be fighting Chris Cage as the Ignition title gets fused with the Undisputed title at Final Face-Off. What are your thoughts on that being possibly one of the biggest matches in his career?
I have a lot of faith in Aaron. I know that when he walks into the ring, he gives it 110% no matter what. And going against Christian will be nothing less. I've been in the ring with Christian a few times, so I know what he's like, and he's a powerhouse. Nothing that Aaron hasn't faced. Now Chris Cage, he's a completely different story. Aaron defeating Cage is a bit questionable. We'll have to find out.
Now, Aaron, not Aaron. Wow, I just said I just called you Aaron. Zach, we're gonna give you the floor here. A lot of people are wanting to know, what your future lies with the EFED world. We know you're staying in DRW, but let the world know, what your plans are, where you're going, and just let them know.
Alright, for those who didn't know, last night I announced my official retirement. But my plan. DRW, my new home. I carried URW for the longest time, and I got nothing for it. I became the world champion after crawling my way up, just to have Donald spit in my face. So, that World Heavyweight Championship, mine, coming to DRW, EWC.
You are the owner of EWC, and EWC is a great place to be. We are partners with EWC. We have a cross-brand pay-per-view scheduled for September. What are your thoughts on, like, URW earlier today, and I don't think if you saw it, I'm actually going to pull up the message right now, and I wanted you to see this because I honestly think it's something you need to see. If it's the one that I'm thinking of that's correctly. I may have got kicked from the chat, I'm not going to lie. Okay. So. Oh, shit, I don't have the screenshots anymore. Okay, this is what he said. This is what Donald Weil said last night live on the Skype, or not on the Skype chat, on a private chat we all had about URW. This is what he said about you, Zach. I don't know if you got to see it or not. URW has no reason to die just because of a 14-year-old kid who's barely passing classes since e-fetting has taken over his life versus a 22-year-old who takes college courses. And my fucking chat just fucked up. Hold on, I'm almost there. Almost there. Since a 22-year-old who runs the Fed plus takes college courses. Ever since Zach was he's taken college courses ever since Zach was in elementary school, and it leads up to college degrees and also works in business and office administration support. We all went through depression, he says. And then he said, you're so wrapped up in e-feds, that's why you're acting like this. And he says that it's true because you admitted it, and Peter actually stands up for you. And it's kind of bullshit that all was said. But first of all, before you comment on it, I wanted to tell everybody, e-fetting does not lead you to college. If you were to put e-fetting on a resume, they'd be like, what the fuck is e-fetting? Colleges aren't going to be like, oh, this guy's an e-fetter. We got to put him on our, we got to get him. We got to get him. They don't care. They're stupid. Explain your feelings, Zach.
Well, here's the thing. With e-fetting, it has helped me grow as a writer. That's a fact. And I think everyone can say that. But I respected him. I did. But I've seen how he's changed over the past few months. And he just became a major asshole. I'm still waiting to get my shot, my rightful shot against the son of a bitch, disciple of metal.
So, for those of you who don't know, at Final Face-Off June 21st, we are going to see the URW champion, Zach Zero, versus the winner of Judas Insanity and Chris Zero for the Elite title. Also, June 21st at Final Face-Off, the Lock Terror champion, Tyson Omega, will face whoever walks away with the DRW television title for the Undisputed television title. Then at Final Face-Off, June 21st, we will see Raven versus Paige versus James Knight for the DRW Intergender Championship. Also at Final Face-Off, we will see the URW Ignition champion Chris Cage go one-on-one with whoever wins between Christian Rainey and Aaron Youngblood, as we talked about earlier. And I wanted to announce right here, also, June 21st, at Final Face-Off, the URW Hardcore Champion will take on the URW Ultraviolent Champion versus the DRW Ultraviolent Champion for the undisputed Ultraviolent title. Let that be an announcement to shock the world. Miguel, for the first time in 3 months, you have a shot back at the Ultraviolent title. What are you going to do different this time if you capture the Ultraviolent title?
Win the thing every night. So no bullshit thing. You'll have to explain it to you. So easy. Just read some rules. Win, defend it, retain it. Just do simple things.
Did you just say simply you're going to win?
Win, defend, retain, repeat. Just like Brock Lesnar.
Why are you going to win? Why do you deserve to be Ultraviolent champion over people like Eric Draven, Kid Crush, and Zach Zero? You give me one good reason why you should be Ultraviolent champion. Tell me why you're tough enough to be Ultraviolent champion.
Why I'm tough enough? I'll tell you why I'm tough enough. I'm tough enough to go with the big boys. I'm tough enough to go with all of them. I'm facing Team Wonder for fuck's sake. Especially if I'm hanging around with Draven, Zach Zero, and who's not sure what the fuck that is. I'll walk out as champion, trust me.
So you think just because you're fighting Key Morbid, you're tough enough? I could put Key Morbid versus Crucifer. It doesn't mean he's tough enough. If you beat Key Morbid, maybe you're tough enough. Miguel, you are still green. You have a lot of green left on you. You have a future World Heavyweight title shot sometime down the road at a later date. You have a shot back at the Ultraviolent title. You are one of the greatest rookies in all of DRW history. But you're getting a big head. You think just because you're booked in these matches, you're automatically tough enough. The matches don't make the man makes the match. You better step it up. You better prove to everybody you can shock the world and do what Zach Zero's been doing for the past year. But now, Zach Zero, you have opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. You have a chance of a lifetime to right the biggest wrong in all of EFED history. Donald Weil stripping you of the URW World title. You take the title, and you're going to make something with it. You have the opportunity of a lifetime as you will battle the winner of Judas Insanity and Chris Zero in one of the biggest fights in your career. If you were to fight any of them, either one of them, what would be your strategy into becoming the elite champion?
My strategy?
Your strategy.
First things first is how I've always done it. I've always I'm pushing for I want this Zero win. I think that'll be a match in the arena. Chris Zero and Zach Zero.
Miguel, mute your mic.
So, it's quite interesting. I push people to a limit far beyond what they think that they could go, so I could succeed at what I want. And I'm going all out, and I'm going to do everything to become the elite champion of DRW.
It is the chance of a lifetime. June 21st at Final Face-Off. We have big news starting May 25th. The draft will take effect. The rosters have been drafted. I will explain the roster split. There are two main rosters, Ultimate Rampage and Massacre. The Ultimate Rampage roster consists of the World Heavyweight Champion, Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion, which will either be Christian Rainey or Aaron Youngblood. The roster list is Chris Zero, Zach Zero, Alex Bling, Jay Styles, Carlito Camacho, Jack Napier, Warlord Victor, Chris DeLeon, Chris Ono, Mark Jacobs, Miguel Roderick, TJ Kidd, Kid Crush, Freddie H, Jay Styles, not Jay Styles, Alex Cross, Jam, Domingo, Kyle Tuck, DMG, Ryu Densetsu, Brian King, and Key Morbid. The GMs of that show will be myself and Alaska. For those of you who don't know who she is the owner of the women's division. She writes for the women's division all the time. Who the hell posted that? Miguel Roderick. Miguel, why couldn't you just say that? That would have been like the best fucking tough enough thing ever. That would have been like the best response in the world. Now, the Massacre roster. As soon as I can find wherever the fuck he posted it. There we go. Tuesday Night Massacre roster after. Okay, here we go. The roster consists of the DRW Elite Champion, whoever that will be, Steve Smith, Alex Fame, Christian York, Torrance Banks, The Addiction, Drake Collins and Lex Sullivan, Joffrey, Trent Sin, Stoner, The Game, Tyler H, The Outlaw Saint, Judas Insanity, Tex Solo, Eric Draven, TJ Bryan, Huracan, Crucifer, Samuel Taylor, Certified G, Fred Funk, Dante, Harvey Gray, Jay Corden, and Shin Gakito. Also, major returns. Adam Rush returns to DRW. Messiah returns to DRW. There's major returns scheduled for DRW in the next couple of months. I may actually hold off the rosters longer. But that's not the point. The point is major returns. Anyway, before Zero Fucks Given closes shop, we're going to talk about a few more things. One, URW is going to die. DRW plans on killing URW. Don't forget.
Zero's movement.
Exactly. Don't forget, May 24th, DRW, HEW, and RRW will present Aftermath May 24th from Pittsburgh Square in Russia. Also in September. Or we may have moved it up, but I think we're still on September for the crossover with EWC.
Yes, currently it's still in September.
Yes. Also, major things, HEW is looking bright as fuck right now after we kind of boosted them up with everything that happened. EWC's bright as fuck, HOPW bright as fuck. This has been Zero Fucks Given Podcast. We thank you for tuning in each and every time we are live. Thank you guys. Good night.